Hi, I'm Kim Twa. I'm a watercolor artist and designer. In this video, I will show you the process of how I go about painting my flowers. So the main thing is to use a really high quality brush. I've tried several, but the ones that I use mostly are these two. They're the size 14 Grumbacher and size 0 for my smaller strokes, which is the Winsor & Newton. You can grab these at Michael's. For painting, I use this brand, Koi Watercolors. I like to keep two side by side. One is my Nita set and the other one is quite messy. I always have two cups of water. One is for my cool color, and this one is for my warm color. I like to keep them separate so that they don't become muddy. When I do my painting, I like to have a tablet next to me just so that I can refer to an image of a flower to capture the mood and the color palette that I like. So to start, generally when I'm painting flowers, I like to make the middle part darker, and as you go out, it gets lighter. So I'll start by dabbing a few lines. Here, I'm not trying to make the flower completely white so that you can see how it looks. So this is how I go. I make very simple, small strokes with dense color, and then I would drag it out with my paintbrush to pick some of the colors from the middle. I'm obviously not going exactly with the photo, the image, but I'm just trying to capture the mood of the flower. So I'm not sure why I'm using such a mucky color. Just going to change the color a bit because it looks kind of brown. And you can always go over a little bit to add, to change the color. And it actually makes the flower more interesting by mixing color. Okay, it's a little more pink. And I find that when when I make mistakes, I keep going over it, and eventually it becomes something. Hopefully. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. Okay. Maybe add a little bit more peach. So I'm mixing colors on the side. I might do another video of how to mix colors, but this is just showing you my process. I find roses are really easy because you just basically dab paints and drag the color. And then if I find that the middle is not vibrant enough, then I will just dab more color in the middle. And that's it. I think I'm happy with how it is. maybe add a little bit of red in the middle. Okay, that's the middle rose. And then if you go back, you see to the tablet, you see that there are leaves draping down, and I really like that. So we're going to try to capture the leaves right here. So I'm going to get some green paint. Okay, so here is my small brush that I'm going to use to make to draw the stem, not the stem, but what do you call that thing? Oh, I realize I'm out of space, so that's okay. I'm gonna make it to the side. I usually don't sketch up my paintings. This allows me to improvise and go with the flow. The point of using this brush is to get small strokes, but clearly that was a bit thick, but that's okay. I love painting leaves just because they're so green. And I love green. When I paint leaves, I don't use just one color. I use different hue, like different value or different saturation of green, and different palettes. And I tend to layer them over. So right here we're gonna start with a very pale green. I started with pale, really pale. Like I use more water first. And then I will add more layer later. Okay, so that's the beginning, the base of my leaf, and then I would just keep adding and dragging the paint. And if I want to go for a soft look, I'll just keep it just like that. But then for this one, I'm just going to show you how I add color to it. I mean, how I layer colors. So this green is a little more blue. The one that I'm mixing at the moment. And then I'm going to just dab over. I like to make this top part darker, and then it gets, yeah, and then I just let it flow down. And here's, do the same thing for the other two. Okay. Oh, that's okay. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, yeah. I realize I don't really like how dark it is. So I'm going to use water. I'm just going to remove some of that blue. A little too dark for me. Okay, that's it. And let's see, let's go back to the picture and see what other, I think these are blueberries. I mean, the berries that are navy blue. Okay, we're gonna try to capture the berries here and right here. Okay, so for when this is how I do my berries. I just sort of do strokes of lines. Mixing colors, trying to get navy blue. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. So for berries, I just make small strokes. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Let's see. For expressive painting, you're not trying to get all the details. Just they're very simple strokes, trying to capture the mood. And I would do the same here. That's it. Those are my berries. Very simple. So I'm going to go back to my painting and let's see. I'm going to even it out with some leaves here, and then we'll be done. Okay, so we're going to go for really big and expressive leaves. So these ones, I'm just gonna improvise. I'm not gonna go exactly how the picture looks. I love big leaves. And I paint by dabbing, I find. Okay, maybe I'll add one more. I'm not sure, maybe here. Let's add one more here. Notice I just drag, so I dab here and then I drag it out. And then I try to shape it the way I want the leaf to look. Okay, and then just gonna add a little bit of bluish tone to it. Yeah, so watercolor painting is just keep dragging until you're happy with it. Okay, and then next is I'm gonna have some leaves that are more blue on the other side. But to balance it out, I'm gonna add more blue again here. They're not really blue, but greenish blue. Okay, and then next we're gonna have these leaves onto the side, and I'm gonna make them a little more interesting by making a little curvy. And then there. These leaves are a little bit longer in shape. And they just drape down. And then I have one popping out this way. And I feel like it's not quite done. So I am just gonna make up a few leaves on here in darker tone. Here's my okay. I'm just gonna add a few more here. Maybe two is just enough. Or maybe three. All right, one more. I'm not really happy with just leaving the leaves like that, so I'm going to continue adding more. Sometimes you just have to improvise and see what works. Okay, and just one more. Okay. I feel like there's something missing here. So I'm gonna try to do these leaves, but make them smaller right here. So just a few more stems. Oops, that was a bit thick. But that's okay. Okay. So we're going to try to get the same tone of green in this one. Smaller ones, because we don't want to make them way too big. And maybe just one more. One more stem, I think it's called stem. Oh, branch. Oh my goodness. I mean branch. One more branch coming out. I don't know my leaf terms. Okay, and that's a simple little bouquet. So when you're starting out, remember to keep it simple. The main goal is to make you feel happy about your painting so that you can continue painting. Thanks for watching.